week of Quarantine Doctors and Dungeon Masters. We had some technical difficulties, so we're starting a little late today, but it's not the end of the world. I'm Kelly Breivik, PhD student at UWM, and I'm the Dungeon Master.
I'm Eric. I play a character who's a monk, and yep, I'm a PhD student.
What's your character's name?
It doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
It will be revealed through the narrative, and it is on the screen.
Sort of. All right.
Are we live?
We are live.
Yeah.
Did not see it.
Sometimes
Anyways,
it takes
hi,
a second.
my name is Corey Ernai. I'm a PhD student here at UWM, but not at UWM because school's kind of halfway closed. Halfway closed, I mean, we're all sent home and actually somehow doing more work than if we were on campus.
Exactly, thank you.
Anyways.
And you just passed your prelim proposal.
I did, which means it's weird. Like, I had to propose. The proposal took a lot of work and a lot of energy, and it was actually more difficult to pass over. Anyways, so I'm proposing to do more work, which is like counterintuitive to my being.
I have a link to give you, by the way. Place
okay.
Yep.
Please do. Anyways, I'm playing Teratha, the wizard.
And who's the last of you?
Yeah, I'm Laylee Bziller, a candidate. Kind of.
Oop, you are cutting in and out, my friend.
Am I? Hey, hold on. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes when the is not where it should be, it gets a little funky. Anyway, hi, I'm Laylee Bziller, PhD candidate in the Answer Department of Virtual UW Milwaukee. And I have a link to give you for your prelim reading, if you don't mind reading digitally, where I have found a whole bunch of books. So don't let me forget to tell you about that.
The issue isn't whether or not I can get them digitally, it's whether or not certain texts are even potentially available digitally. It's also the texts I read have to be the same text I put. So, like, page numbers can sync up between committee members. It's a whole thing, and it's really frustrating.
Oof.
I'm sorry.
So, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Great.
I'll send you the link anyhow. You can play around with it. Okay. And I play Tolly, and or Bane, depending on who is addressing me, and I am a cleric.
Nice. What happened last week?
You mean last year? I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna make this joke every week.
We are gonna make this joke every fucking week.
I ascended to the throne, which was nice. That was unexpected but fun.
But to be fair, you're queen of the goblins, so.
You say that like it's a pejorative, and all I'm feeling is righteous power.
What else happened?
I got a dog.
Yeah, you did.
Have decided was once called Boom Boom and is now called Boomer.
I love it.
It's a very large Rottweiler that also breathes fire, which is exciting.
Yup. Yeah, when I made that homebrew dog, I didn't expect it to become a pet.
You should always expect things to become pets, Kelly.
I know.
Did you not learn? Did you not learn from the cats? I feel like you should have learned from the cats.
I really should have.
Technically, the cats are in Vara right now. We could sync them up.
No.
We can get the cat and the dog together. Oh my god.
Anyway, before I die, let's start. Let's catch ourselves up to what we're doing now. So yes, that all happened. You were paid by Good Boy Buddy not just for the 150 from the fighting the air elementals, but you also are now paid the money that he promised you that just had to go through paperwork before it was deposited in your banks.
That was
Um,
How much
400
was that again?
or
I don't know.
450.
That sounds about right.
I
400?
think it was 450.
I don't know. Yeah, because originally I said 400, and then you guys were like, blah, 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 we almost died. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so that's we're not going to have a shopping episode, but just know that you can now account for that in your inventory. Um, is there anything that you want to announce that you get specifically? And it could just be like mundane stuff. Like we're not saying you have +1 swords, to go shopping for. But is there anything specifically that you want to announce that your character has as we embark on this 3.5-day trek to a nearby city?
I would like to buy some elven chain.
Yeah, that's fine.
How much is it?
I don't know. Whatever the is it not is there not a price in the PHB?
Maybe.
All right, then if there's no price, then you can't get it yet, because then that makes it too special to deal with right now.
Then can we do a shopping episode?
Do people want to do a shopping episode?
Nope.
Look, if I have learned one thing about D&D streams, people love two things: leveling up and shopping.
I know. We'll do a shopping episode next time because we're going to say that Buccal is kind of like the. Oop, what's up, Eric?
It should have a price. I'll find it quick.
Okay. We'll say that there'll be a shopping episode when we get to Buccal because that'll be like a nice little trading hub. Not that Vara isn't, but Vara is more. It's kind of like less business oriented and more kind of like knowledge, expanding and learning about culture. More concerned with kind of like the ongoing histories more than business stuff. So yeah. So you go to the caravan that goes out of the wishing well. It is the Sandy Seaway caravan that all of you have at this point traveled with quite some time before.
Oh, I
There's the
wanted to announce that I
okay,
got food for me and uh, uh,
Zola.
Zola. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Tali, you know the usual characters that are coming on the caravan.
Hmm.
Does Bing Bam usually go on the caravan or does he not?
Yeah, for sure. Bing Bam generally comes. And then, like there's a kind of a small host of people depending on what kind of they're taking with them, and a
All right,
few teenagers still kind of making their name.
sounds good to me. So I think Bing Bam will be the ringleader this time. I'd say it tends to change who's the one leading the caravan depending on the trip.
For
Bing
sure.
Bam is leading it this time, and then his co-captain is Tippy Tellerin, who is the Sea Taffy salesperson. Um, and she's decided to join you on this caravan, kind of just, partnering up, which you've done in the past. And she is a halfling. There are two new additions to the Sandy Seaway caravan. You would have known that they were kind of interviewing ish some interested adventurers. And they are two Aarakocra named Cleek and Akadito. Cleek looks like a large sun parakeet, and both of them don't wear much clothes. Like they wear trousers, but that's it. And the trousers are mostly because, like, oh, you humanoids feel weird when we don't wear anything, so I guess we'll wear clothes. So actually, sorry, Cleek does not wear trousers. He wears essentially like like bathing suit shorts that look like Hawaiian shirts. So he's wearing that. Akadito, on the other hand, he looks like a blue and yellow macaw, and he is wearing tan trousers, and he stands very sort of like stern and has like a very even sort of calming presence, but also very stoic. Whereas Cleek just looks like he's ready to have fun. Um, and you haven't been introduced to them necessarily. You just heard that they were onboarded, and those are just the two new characters that you're just dealing with for the next 2 weeks or so. And as you're loading up, let me just see. Eric, can I get an insight check out of you?
Yeah, I need to get out my dice though. Sorry that I'm not prepared.
It's all right.
You're good.
That's a natural 18, and so that'll be 26.
Zola is doing a really good job at, like, just keeping herself in check, but you could tell that she's really kind of upset about having to leave the city. This is her first time. Like, I think she's been out in the desert for a couple hours or so to visit the Ashina clan members and to do small outings, but this is her first time properly leaving the city, traveling in the desert, going somewhere else. And even though there's probably a part of her that like is excited for an adventure, she really wishes she wasn't doing this. Do you say
I'll go.
anything or
What's wrong?
nothing?
Yeah. Why don't you just talk to me about it?
I think I'm good. I don't think that talking's gonna do anything. So why waste the breath and all?
Well, talking usually helps quite a bit, especially with you.
I guess I just really like the city and I don't like the desert.
What's not to like about the desert?
Are you kidding me? There's so much not. So immediately, like she just went from keeping it cool to like not blowing up, but now you've hit the button. It's hot and it's dry and there's no water out there and I gotta schlep my books all the time. I can't just put it on like a cart or something. I can't go and pick any book that I want off the shelf. I can't cook in the desert. There's so much not to like in the desert.
You don't even like cooking.
I don't, but I still can't cook in the desert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
Not like on a.
Teretha ritual casts Lehman's tiny hut is just like, here, go have at it in my library.
Anyways, all right. So you're not super excited. That's okay. But you should be excited. We're going to a fun place.
Yeah, but this city's fun.
This city's fun, but seeing new things is fun too. And you're going to get a chance to stretch those old legs.
Your legs are old, not mine.
Well,
That is
we'll see about
an
that.
astute point there.
I mean, I'm
You're
doing it because you're asking me to. I'm not here to put, I'm not here to give you a hard time. I just don't like it, that's all.
Well, we'll see how you feel on our way back home.
Tally, can I wash your dog?
Watch? Oh, sorry. Lay a question. Watch, wash.
Oh, watch. Like, keep an eye on. Like, she's just looking for, like, a task to do. Because she's not quite sure what her role is meant to be besides just traveling along. So she's just trying to look for something to do to keep herself occupied.
Yeah. So Tali will look at her dubiously, and say, "You have a hard time schlepping your books."
Oof. Oof.
But let me see how you handle her, and then she will just like take the dog up to her and just like then back away a few steps and see if the pup is cool with this whole situation.
I'll have her roll an animal handling check. I did the roll already. I just need to see what her modifier is.
Okay.
She's not doing a good job. So she's like, sit. I said sit, and she's trying to like, not rudely, but she's trying to like nudge it by pressing its hips down, and the dog lets out a little, like not being aggressive, but just like
Right.
stop.
Yeah, so I rolled a 26 for animal handling,
Mhm.
and I am gonna try and like help teach her what she's doing wrong.
Okay. Let me have her do an intelligence check to see if she learns. Oh yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Okay.
So she does a really bad job at first, but then I'm going to say with your help, she's able to, keep Boomer sort of like settled and walking at her side.
For sure. So
So,
Bing Bam, Tolly will let Bing Bam and a couple other people know that about the dog, and just like to keep an eye on. I'm really sorry, I just forgot this girl's name. What
Zola.
she So thank you. You said it like 20,000 times. Keep an eye on Zola to make sure this dog doesn't roast her alive.
Yeah.
Because most of them have worked with animals before, so she's just like, she wants multiple eyes, just kind of like, just in the periphery, kind of like keeping track of her.
Nice. I
Because
dig it. Keep going.
yeah, she should be able to Tolly thinks that she should be able to handle it, and it's a good kind of beginning for caravan responsibilities. But also doesn't want her to die, because it's not like this dog is like,
Yeah.
it's not just a dog. Like,
Yeah.
it could kill you. So
Nice. Well, this little puppy dog don't scare me. And she'll give him a little pat, and you're not that bad, are you, fella? And the dog kind of gives you the help me eyes, but suffers it, and they got it. The dog just likes you more. That's all. So you all start heading out of the city along the caravan. Tell me what everyone's doing as you're walking along or riding along. Where is everyone at, and who are they sitting with or walking with?
I
I,
would certainly be writing.
I would give Zola my fine steed, Camel.
I love it. Nice. Yeah, so she'll ride on the camel with Boomer leash in hand, and the dog like kind of comes up to the belly of the camel.
damn.
Yep. What's Tali doing?
Tolly would probably be catching up with some of the other people who she hasn't seen a couple.
So who would
Kind
you
of
go
chit
to?
chat and checking in.
And if you don't have the NPC yet, just give me a basic idea on the kind of person that or sort of history, and I'll work with it from there.
Sure thing. So the owners of the Wishing Well have a couple of kids that are like older now. They're like adults that probably don't come into the city all that much. So she'd be just like checking in with them and getting the lowdown on the new people.
Sure.
Mm, yeah.
So there's I'm gonna say you go to one of the younger daughters who's just starting. Like you go to her because even though she's newer at this, she was involved in the hiring process of this new one as like her first person to hire. So she was very like kind of like mentored a lot. So she was very heavily involved with this, even though she wasn't the one to like officially make any big decisions yet. Um, and so her name is Agdalor. And she looks to you and she goes, "Oh, it's been a while, Tully. How are you?"
Sorry. Chewing. Oh, it's all right. I some.
Oop, you're cutting out. I'm sorry.
Oh, It's been all right. Been hanging out with some old slash reacquainted friends.
The is the and she'll look and she'll go, the young one, is she actually young, or is she of a race that appears young?
Zola, she is actually young. This is her first time out in the desert. So
Good for her. And she'll try and remember her mother is the one who lost her leg, correct?
Willow, they're related somehow, I believe.
Oh, so not her mother.
Not to my knowledge, though I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, well, my mistake. What sort of travels have you been up to?
Well, we met some goblins,
Oh,
dog, talked to some spirits.
oh, what were the spirits
Um,
like?
Perturbed.
Oh, well, you get that sometimes. I've been kind of nervous to pray as of late because of that. Sometimes I get answers, and some from the ones I expect, and sometimes I make connections that I very quickly sever.
Mm, same. Did you know that when you cast prestidigitation, all that stuff goes someplace? Found out where it goes. It's really gross.
Ooh, well, that's interesting. I just thought it disappeared.
Yep, me too. Apparently not.
Oh, where is this? I certainly hope nowhere close, or also nowhere bothersome.
No. And it is now cut off so that no one can find it.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
It is, I think.
Yeah, what have I been up to? I've been studying. I'm trying to get into one of the local universities for business because, I really want to take up the family business. I know some of my older siblings have their eyes on the prize, and I certainly hope to not cause a rift in our family. But, I've always been overlooked in a way as one of the youngest, and I guess that comes with the territory, but I really want to prove myself.
I'm sure your parents will make the best choice.
I'm sure too, but as of right now, I don't think I'm the best choice, and that's why I would like to make my way into becoming the best choice.
Hmm, good. Sedentary lifestyle is your choice. It's perfectly reasonable.
Is that is that sarcasm?
No, it is not. It
Oh,
is wouldn't be my choice, but that doesn't make it not valuable.
sorry, it's just adventurers. A lot of times they look down on people who choose to have a comfortable life as opposed to roughing it. But
Beds and pillows are well worth the college experience.
and also not almost dying all the time.
Well, I've seen some things in the city that make me wonder which one is more dangerous.
That is true. And do you ask her anything, or
So who are the new folks that got hired? Sorry, did you already tell me about that? And then I just like my brain died.
you didn't ask them specifically? I just explained that their names are Cleek and Alcadito.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's
All
it.
right, I just wanted to make sure that brain has been a
It's all good.
place. Yeah. So who is new folks? Cleek and Acadito?
Yes, yes. So apparently they're not even from this plane. It was quite curious. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of information about the other planes. They're quite young, but they're still interesting folk, who provide a more worldly knowledge for us. They'll be able to explain things that we may not understand, certain phenomena that we may not expect. Um, they say that they are from one of the elemental planes. And Cleek, he is not quite as studied, but he certainly is a lot more patient at explaining than Akadito, so they make a good pair.
Good. Be
And
be an interesting addition to.
Sorry, you're still cutting out. I understood what you meant, but just bear in mind
I'm
that
trying.
all good.
There might be a new headset in my future.
Gotcha. And then, Corey, I know that you said that Tawaratha was writing. Who would she be writing with, or would she be writing alone?
She'll be riding alone.
Okay. So you get towards the end of the day. Give me one moment. Oof. Zola, who's been doing her best, is actually exhausted from the desert sun beating down on her. So about halfway through the day, she actually has to go in one of the caravans and just sleep. Her skin is just completely burned, even though like she has been in the sun. Like she is generally used to this, but the city of Vara has a protective shield that keeps out the worst of the sun's rays. So really, only people who regularly go out to the desert can handle this. She can't yet, at least. And what's everyone's passive perception?
17.
18.
15.
All right. Everyone except Tali. Sorry, Tali. You hear a faint noise. And can I get an insight, or actually no, a nature check, from the two of you?
$14.
And Corey?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was on this. That will be, you said insight, right? Or nature?
Nature.
Woof. That is going to be a 14.
Okay. Neither of you are really able to tell what is making this noise or sort of the sort of call this is, but you hear a
Hey, Bane, what's that?
in the distance.
Sounds
What
like
do you
a
do?
sand.
I asked Bane what it is.
Tally, give me a perception check.
21.
Yeah, you could hear it. Give me a nature check with advantage.
Advantage. Nature.
Yep.
Yeah. Dirty 20.
Nice. So you don't encounter a lot of these because they try to avoid people in general. It is the call of a land whale, and it is a call of distress. And from the sound of it, it seems
right?
pretty young.
Woohoo!
Wait, what?
I said sand whale.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a call of distress. It sounds pretty young. I'm going to send a picture in chat just so you could see what it looks like. But what do y'all do?
I'm sorry, Kelly, you cut out. What?
Oh, I said I'm going to send a picture of what these things look like in chat. But
Mhm.
what do you do with the knowledge that now that you hear it, you can tell that it is a young land whale that is doing like a distress call?
I will relay that information to Will quickly. And kind of like briskly walk over to Bing Bam and also let him know and see if he want to do anything about it or if we should leave it alone.
And Bing Bam will think for a little bit, and he will go, well, there's two things we could do. We could either leave it alone and hope that its family gets to it before something else does. We could, I mean, their teeth are very valuable.
It's true.
And with that, because so land whales have teeth that make fantastic daggers. One second. Sorry, I have this up. Teeth that make fantastic daggers. They also, their skin is extremely tough, and it makes for good like kind of building material. Like you can mix it in with essentially like it makes sort of like a concrete type thing. And they are often poached. Right now, it is like essentially whale hunting season, so you're allowed to. But even when it's not in season, they are often poached for the resources that they're able to give. And also, their meat is absolutely delicious. And they are very difficult to they're typically very difficult to get to because they travel in packs or schools rather, and it usually takes a bunch of high level adventurers to be able to handle them. And Bing Bang will go, kind of feels wrong offing a kid, but I mean, them daggers would be great.
It's true. We could. Fine either way. You're the one leading this year, Kira.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Well, would you and your friends like to go on a little hunting trip, and we'll cut you a bigger portion of the sales?
Yeah, I will go over and see if they're interested. All right, so Talia will go up to Willow and signal to Teritha to like join them for a sec.
What's up?
So there's you call it a sand whale, desert whale.
I called it a land whale, but sand
Land
whale
whale.
also works.
Okay. There's a likely young land whale out there. We can either go attempt to help it, or we can get a solid cut of the profits for killing it and bringing it back here. Plenty to scavenge off of land whale.
What do you think, Teritha?
I think we should just leave it. Continue on. No reason to stop.
Oh, we wouldn't be stopping. We would just be taking a detour while they move, catch up.
Oh, then there's no reason to even split up the party. Just stay as a group and keep moving.
I've been down for a little tumble. Kind of interested to see what this thing looks like.
They're massive. Quite massive. A young one, though. Not quite as big, but still. Honestly, I don't want to get into a tiff of anyone between keeping it alive, killing it, or whatever. It just sounds like a pain in the ass.
The caravan is usually up for making money. So I doubt that will be a tiff of any kind, necessarily. Because Solo might have a problem,
Well,
but I don't really know her very well.
well, that's exactly my point. If there's anyone that wants to keep the thing alive, well, you know. You don't want to have a debate about morality in the middle of the desert. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Zola is probably just going to stay in the caravan. She's not feeling well.
So are we doing some whale murdering, or?
I want to just check it out and see what's going on.
Sure. So whoever is going with Willow to check it out, give me a survival check.
Yeah, I'll go with Willow. I'm not gonna let Willow go by herself. That's for sure.
Sounds good.
16.
It's gonna be a 23.
Yeah. Between the two of your checks, I mean, you get there in record time. Like, you listen to its cries. It's not being quiet because right now it's just screaming for mom. And these things, they're usually about like literally the size of like your average whale. This one is probably about the size of like it's like the length of a manatee, but the width of two manatees. This particular one, and you see it just, sort of like stomping around in like vague circles. Like, but even though it's kind of like doing this slow stopping, you could tell it's like kind of moving as fast as it can. So it like moves a little bit and lets out a whale, and then it circles around and lets out another whale. It's just reproducing whales ad nauseum. I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, so when it's letting out a whale, what's that?
Yeah, and then the picture in chat is what it looks like. That's what little baby looks like. What do you do?
Is there any sign of like danger or what it's scared of or what might be hunting it?
You could do a perception check.
Natural 20 for a 28.
Woo!
Nice. You do not see anything hunting it right now. You don't have any confirmation of whether this was separated because it just got lost or maybe fell behind as other people traveled. You notice, like every now and again, it'll burrow real quick and pop up somewhere else. So you think maybe it could have gotten lost while it was burrowed as well. I'm not saying like there's definitely nothing that could have chased it away, but it's looking like there's nothing in the immediate vicinity as far as you could see. And you're on like a hill looking down on it, so you could, you're fairly confident that there's nothing very close by at least.
Well, you up for some money?
Sure. We should do.
All right, let's roll for initiative. You'll get a surprise round on the land whale.
In weird fashion, Polly got a 17.
Incredible.
11.
Okay. And then did Taratha go? I forget.
No, she didn't go.
Okay. So give me 1 second. Did you bring the pup with you, Tali?
No, because I haven't trained it in scenarios yet, and so I would have left it with Bing Bam. Because I don't want it to freak the fuck out.
Totes fine. So I'm gonna say the land whale's over here. You two are way over here. What do you do? Or actually, hold on 1 second. You'd be further back. So give me 1 second. So I'm gonna say you two are over here.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So we don't really get a surprise round. All right.
I mean, you could move and cast something. Or you could choose to do a stealth check to get closer. It's up to you. And you can decide that before we start like official combat, but just know that if you fail a stealth check, then
Right.
you will not get that surprise round.
I mean, it's within range for me.
All right.
Assuming I can move through the foot, or is the foot just not actually there?
Yeah, the foot is like just random burrow and stomping around from the land whale. So, Tali, what do you do?
That's a great question. All my shit is like very get up close to it, and
Then we can try sneaking.
yeah. So I'm going to sneak.
Okay.
My stealth isn't awful, so
Give me a stealth check.
Would this be like move 30 feet and take the hide action, right? Or something like that? Or move your, distance and take the hide action or something along those lines?
Yeah, it's sort of like if you make your stealth check right now, like you were able to move and get up to 30 feet closer. So what's that stealth check, Tali?
Yeah, it's gonna be a 4.
Just a straight 4?
14, 1
Oh,
4.
14. I was like, holy shit. That beats its passive, so you get 30 feet closer. 1 second. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Willow, are you staying there, or are you going to
Same thing.
stealth check?
Yep.
Okay.
7.
All right. 5,
Natural
10,
2, and I'm not proficient. I have 50 feet of movement, by the
yep,
way.
35, 40, 45, 50. So I'm going to say it spots Willow. Like, it turns around and starts to let out another wail. And it sees Willow, and it goes from, like, distressed to, like, even more distressed, and also slightly, like, get away. Not necessarily attacking, but just, like, a warning sort of yowl. Tally, you will be in the surprise round. But now we have initiative, so Tally, what do you do? You are probably on mute.
Ah, sorry. Yes, I am. I'm trying to decide between animal handling and an attack. And I will just go with Toll the Dead.
Wisdom save out of it?
Yeah, against a 17.
That's actually a 19.
Wow. Okay.
It rolled an 18 on the die.
Cool. Should have gone with the animal handling.
Yep. It feels something try and grip at its mind, and it shakes it. Like, I think for flavor, like, it's too distressed to even, like, be gripped right now by any sort of, like, spell. I mean, of course you still can, but I'm just saying, in this moment, that's what happens. Do you move closer?
Yeah, I moved 30 feet.
Okay, would that be here or here? Up or down?
That.
Okay.
Oh, did I get 60 feet?
Well, you moved 30 feet, and then you moved another in the stealth one.
Yeah, right there is fine.
Yeah. All right. Next up is the land whale, who moves up to you, and it's going to take 2 slam attacks at you. First is a 12. Second's a nat 1. Bye bye dice, because that was a 5 and a 1. And now we're back to the top, and now we are out of the surprise round. Tally, what do you do?
So I'm sorry. Why does the land whale get to act in the surprise round?
Because you what's it called? There was yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So essentially, those dice did nothing. That was my mistake. I mistakenly put it in because Willow was loud, and I just kind of didn't track it well. But on the bright side, there's no repercussions, and only Tali was able to act in the surprise round because she was stealth. So now
Yeah,
we are back
I
to
get why Tali was. It's kind of funny. It's like a surprise round on the land whale, and for some reason, the only character who doesn't get to act is my character who was sneaking up on the thing, right? And like,
yeah.
so that was all. Like, I understood why I didn't get to act. I just thought it was like a weird. Why did that thing go? You know what I mean?
Oh no, that was just me thinking that the surprise was broken, but I was like, wait a second, I'm an idiot. It was just broken for Willow. Tali, at the top, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna attack.
Go for it.
She feels a little weird about this, but I'm gonna do it. All right, so that's a 22.
That'll hit.
Cool. For a whole 11.
All right. And do you have like anything else you want to do, or?
No. Not right now. I'm trying to just kind of feel out this thing first.
Okay. Willow.
I'll just go up and I'll slice it up.
All right, go for it.
That one.
Oof.
No.
17.
That will not do it.
Or 16, sorry.
That
All
will
right.
still not do it.
And then I'll punch it.
Okay.
Nope. I rolled a 1, 2, and 5.
Shit.
Rip. It looked like it was going to try and swipe at Tali when it was just her, but now that it's the two of you, it's going to take the disengage action, and it burrows, and you see it reappear over here behind you. And that's its turn. Tali, what do you do?
Yeah. I guess I'll just follow it. Try and hit it again. It's within 30 feet of me, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's gonna be a 19.
That will hit.
It's gonna be a 16 damage.
All right. It's looking bloodied. Willow, it is your turn.
Wow. Okay.
It's a baby.
I know, but it's still big.
It is.
I'll go slice it up.
Okay.
27.
That'll do it.
Hot.
11 damage.
All right, 1 second. All right, it's not looking great.
That'll be a 15.
That will not do it.
And I'll punch.
Okay.
27.
That will hit.
That'll be 8 damage.
It is on death's door.
I'll do flurry of blows.
Okay.
26.
Yep. Just tell me how you kill it. There's no way you can not kill it at this point.
I guess I leap forward, stab the sword into the back, then use it to propel it myself onto its neck, and then I'll just kick down twice on the neck to kill it.
Nice. So yeah, you do that. The land whale collapses with an awful hits the ground. And what do you do? How do you get this large thing? It's probably around like 500 pounds. And you're not far off from the caravan. You can employ the help of others, but on its own, this baby whale is 500 pounds.
Maybe we could pull it together. I don't know.
I think between the two of us, we could actually do that.
Like 500 pounds isn't that much for two people to, pull.
Two people with decent strength too.
Yeah.
-1.
Oh.
Oof.
Never mind. One person with strength.
Yeah, I think carry is 10 times your strength, and then drag is double that.
So
Oh,
20,
well,
20 times, yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Okay.
What's your strength mod? Tali?
It's 16, so I could get in like 340.
320, and then
Mine's 8 times 20, so that would be 160. So that's enough. We can drag it.
that's 20 pounds under. I mean, I'm not
What?
gonna be.
Oh, wait, it wasn't 380? I thought it was 380. Sorry.
No.
What was your amount?
320.
320.
You could do a strength check to see if you could do it. I'd be willing to give you the extra 20 pounds, but also bear in mind this is in like sand, so it's like even tougher to drag this. But both of you give me a strength check.
Or even easier to drag it.
Is it though?
There's probably less grip on sand than there is on normal ground. I don't. Not that it matters.
Well, also like with normal ground you could dig your heels in and get purchase. With sand, you just like kind of go into it.
I got a 19 on that strength check.
Cool. And Willow?
Sorry, I was looking at my items to see if anything could help, but I'll roll.
I can also cast. I
2.
can cast.
Oof.
Yeah, no. I want to. Can I cast enhance ability? Give you some strength.
Yeah. So then you get to roll with advantage, Eric.
16.
Okay. Yeah. Willow is really having a tough time, so Tali gives her a little pat on the back and
Shit. Also, your carrying capacity doubles.
oh, Willow
So we got-
single-handedly just lifts it into the air. And jogs back with like the Rocky theme playing as she gets over the
I'm
hill.
pretty sure even with double, I can't do that.
It's just for flavor. It's just funny to me. And you get back to the caravan with no issue because you weren't that far off in the first place.
Kelly,
Go ahead.
I do want to okay, so these whales and stuff,
Uh-huh.
I want to make sure we don't drag if there's any way to get rid of the scent of this thing, the trail of this thing, so mom can't come fuck us up later.
You could do a medicine check to try and patch up, sort of rub, cake sand into the wound so it doesn't drop blood as a trail.
You're gonna have a massive indent in the sand.
Well, yeah, they would know
It's more I don't want it to be able to follow us back
Yeah.
to the camp. If it can get to where this thing was, that's fine. But following us back to the caravan, I want to stop that. However I can maybe do that would be great. Survival or medicine or both fine.
Medicine.
Okay. So it's 23.
Yeah, you're able to patch it up real good. And make sure that nothing drops. And you're confident. Not that I'm saying that there will never be sand trails in the sand ever, but it's
Right.
windy enough that your footprints will get blown over by the time anything would get to you. Because it was so far off. Anything else was so far off that Willow could not see anything in the distance.
Okay, cool. I just want to, make sure that giant fucking sand whale doesn't come eat us while we sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay, Jonah. I'm joking. So yeah, you
Balls.
get back to the caravan. Willow, like a champion, is hoisting the sand well over her shoulder, and Bing Bam stands up and kind of.
For Willow, it's just business, so I don't know if she's taking a ton of pride in it. That's all.
Okay. And I was thinking when I said a champion, I'm thinking that champion belt that wrestlers sling over their shoulder.
Yeah, to me that denotes some kind of super
showiness.
Showiness, pride, and I don't know. I don't feel Willow's just doing her job.
Yep.
Doing a job.
That is fine.
I mean, yeah, that's also how Tali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you get back and Bing Bam is standing on his the where they sit down and guide the horses in the wagon, and he puts his hand over his eyes to look out over the sun, and sees you coming, and then he gives a nice clap of his hands, and he goes, "Well, ain't that something? So it didn't give you no trouble?"
No, it was no trouble.
Nice. I'll get some of the butchers in on this, cut it up so that we don't have to keep it all in one place. We'll make quick work of it.
Great.
this seems to be as good spot as any because it is getting later in the day. It's not necessarily night, but with the caravan, especially with how dangerous the desert is, you want to have time to do a proper setup with camp, scout out the area for any potential dangers.
For sure.
I know now's as good as time as any to get camp set up. So good job. And give me an intelligence check, Tali.
14.
Okay. Even with that, this particular, like the things that they can sell just from the sheer, just the natural resources of this land whale can easily fetch about 1,000 gold. So each of you would get 15% of that. If you wanted to try and take any of that to make stuff, then you can get more. But just if you just want to leave it to the raw materials, you could essentially add 150 gold a piece to your inventory.
Great.
Cool.
I don't need anything in particular, so I think I'll just take the.
Okay. So as you set up camp, let me just see how. All right. Is the party with one another, or are you all doing your separate things at nighttime?
I probably would be with the rest of the caravan. Steiny is awesome but can't fit everyone, so she would have to take like shifts stuff the caravan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taratha?
What's going on?
What are you doing as the camp is setting up for the evening?
Setting up my tiny hut.
Sounds good. And Willa?
Well, I'd probably, hang out with Zola for a bit, and then I'd also might take a watch.
Okay. And out of curiosity, have you talked to Zola at all about wanting to go to the archives?
No.
Okay. Sounds good. I just wanted to know whether or not that was a topic that she would talk to you about, so that is fine. Taratha, are you inside or outside of your hut at twilight?
For sure inside.
Okay. You hear a little knock on the outside of your hut.
Yes.
I have questions.
Who was this?
I am Akadito.
Come on in.
And he'll enter. Sorry, in my head I was just like, can they enter? But then if they're friendly and you allow them, they can. So he enters and he gives like a little bow. And he goes,
Would you like some tea?
"No, thank you. I appreciate it though."
Well, do you mind if I drink tea while we talk?
Of course not. This is your place. Or is it?
That was a very strange and leading question.
My apologies. I am still getting used to your language. I may not know the right flavors of words to use so that I am not
Then
misinterpreted.
speak in your own language.
Okay. So he will be speaking in 1 second. I just have to see. I think it's Orin. But it's like Aarakocra language. And he still speaks with a very sort of like smoothness, but now it's a little bit more fluent. And his word choices are not quite as awkward. And he goes, "Pardon me for being forward, but it appears to me that there's something about you that is also not from here."
And what gives you that impression?
Well, your illusion magic is impressive. I am able to sense beings that are, at the very least, in part from other planes. Is it possible that you do not know this? I have encountered many like you before who mostly look like me, who think that they are from here, but in fact are not.
No, I was born here, and as far as you're aware, my body is heavily deformed, and so I wear this ring um, to give a more appealing face to people.
Well, uh, I think that there's a little bit more to that, whether you know it or not. You may have been born here, but your ancestry is not from here. Are you aware of that?
I find that a bit insulting. Um,
Well,
I'm
how
from here.
so?
I was born here.
Well, of course. But not everyone in your ancestry has been born here. Many people on this plane, that is the case. But it is not for you, and it's not the case for me. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Yes, but I find that this logic tends to make it so that even though I am from here, I'm not really from here. I'm very distrustful of that logic.
Well, I appreciate your view on this matter. I just wanted you to know there are sometimes those who want to know more about their heritage that has been locked away in time. But it is your choice to make. I am not here to tell anyone else about this aspect of you. I just think it's important that you are aware.
Sounds very much like a threat.
I At this point, I am starting to believe that it is not the way I am communicating, but the way that you tend to mistrust people that is making this conversation a bit more difficult. I am just letting you know. It is a shame when people are unaware of their background. I, in fact, was sent here on a holy mission to make sure that those who have ancestry from other planes are able to learn about those other planes from which they belong.
What do you mean a holy mission?
Well, if let me and he's trying to think of like he's like excited to talk about it, but he's probably also been briefed not to like proselytize. So he's trying to find a way to talk about his God without like getting just like too hyped up about it. And he's also like totally like just imagine like the way that he walks around are like those guards in front of St. James's Palace with the tall like this like just completely stoic and can't like acknowledge people whatsoever. That's how he walks around. But obviously he does talk to people. Um and I lost track of, oh yeah, you asked about a holy mission, and he goes, well, I was sent by the god of my plane, who wanted me to primarily find those who belong to our plane, but I have found that the powers that he has bestowed, or she, I forget, or that they have bestowed unto me, has allowed me to see more than those who have blood from our plane. I've seen people from bloods of many plane.
What kind of is this?
Ooh, you're a little quiet right now.
What kind of magic is this?
Well, I am not quite sure myself, but I would say it is divine.
Show me.
And he'll go, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but. And are you casting Detect Magic?
I can. Well, if you give me.
Like he'll allow you to cast it, because like he's telling you like there's no real way to see it. Like he's saying like something's happening inside of him, but you won't be able to see it with the naked eye.
Right. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So he takes a deep breath and then lets out a sigh. And as he sighs, his body sort of radiates. The best way I could say it is like a channel divinity. Like channel divinity in itself doesn't like it's different from casting a spell. I would say the closest thing it would be is abjuration magic. And pretty much like his body has like an aura, and then like that aura almost like creates a little thread between him and you, almost guiding him to you. And he goes, "Can you see it?"
Yes. Okay.
So this leads me to the closest person who is from another plane. It's sometimes why I do not like for Cleek to be alongside me, because if he is close, then he is throwing off my sense.
Hmm. So what do you know about my ancestry?
Well, the unfortunate thing is it doesn't quite tell me exactly what plane and where. I have to think about it and ask my God. So, if you would permit me to study our connection for an hour, I will be able to give you more answers. And
You have my permission.
I'm sorry?
You have my permission.
Oh, well, thank you. I will sit here quietly and I promise I will not bother you. And I will let you know when I know.
Anything I can get you?
I must focus on my work, but I appreciate your hospitality.
Oh, you monkish types. I've always admired your ability to single-handedly focus on one task. I always have to fiddle with something.
Um, Willow and Zola, what are you doing? Are you trying to talk her through stuff? Are you, like, what, or are you just kind of just being stoic and quiet with one another?
Probably more the latter.
Okay. Zola will sit there quietly for a little bit, eating whatever food is prepared for the day, and she'll go, "Caravan are being kind of mean to me, and I don't like it.
How so?
They made fun of me for passing out, said I was a weak city girl.
How'd that make you feel?
I didn't like it,
Why?
'cause I ain't weak, I just never been in the sun before this long, that's all."
Then tomorrow prove 'em wrong.
Well, I just gotta hope I don't nat one my con check. And she'll nod, and you'll notice, Willow, that yeah, earlier she was just like totally like, "There's no real reason for me to be here besides my aunt asked me to," and now she seems to like have a little bit of a found reason for what now she wants to prove them wrong.
What?
Oh God.
When I was your age, me and your mom, we often kind of got after each other a little bit like that. It makes somebody stronger to face a little adversity.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I love you, Aunt Will, and all, you know that. But I guess coming out here, I was just kind of afraid that I'd turn out more like you and less like her, and that ain't a bad thing. It's just my mom loved that bookstore, and I didn't want to ever leave it.
You do know that I've operated the bookstore longer than your mom did.
I don't care. She started it.
No, of course, but it's your bookstore, it's my bookstore, it's hers. And don't worry, nothing I could do or you could do could ever take what's inside of you from your mom away from you. It's there. I see it every day. Don't worry, you're not much like me.
Well, ain't that good? And you've cheered her up. She's feeling a bit better. And Tali, who are you chilling with?
Um, probably okay. Clink,
Cleek.
Cleek. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I love this bird, by the way. If you look up sun parakeet, they're just gorgeous, gorgeous parrots. And he actually he's wearing something that you've never seen before. They're like a sort of goggles that are hooked behind his ears, and they're just very dark. And you might have like wondered if he was blind or something like that.
All right. Well, I'll walk up and
And
just
what?
put out my hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll just go introduce myself and put up my hand to shake it to see if he sees me. Put my hand out.
Yeah. He puts his hand out and gives it a firm shake, and he goes, "Well, hello."
I just thought I would come introduce myself because I haven't met you before, and we're traveling together. So
Well, ain't that sweet? I'm Cleek. And he does like this weird little bird sound, like a clicking bird sound.
name's Bane.
Oh, ain't it fancy to meet you? So, what do you do, Bane?
Most of the time, just along with a caravan. Otherwise,
You're what?
I'm a hired hand elsewhere.
Hired hand. Fantastic. So, are you like a leader in the caravan?
Oh no, just a grunt mostly.
Oh,
Been around a little while though.
well, us grunts gotta stick together. I'm a grunt too.
Yep, most of us are.
Ah, yeah. One day, I don't think I'm gonna be a grunt, but not today.
That's good. Always nice to have something to work towards.
Hmm. Hey,
So where are you from?
I am from the elemental plane.
Seems like pretty far away.
Well, yes, it is. It is in an entirely different planet, in an entirely different level of existence. This is the material plane, where many beings are. And there are beings on other planes, but our plane is mostly full of elementals, and we are the guardians of those elementals.
What are you doing here?
Well, there are many people who are descendants of Aarakocra who have been living on the material plane for many, many years. And we are inviting them, if they wish, to return to the elemental plane, or we can just tell them about their heritage, and they can remain here. But what's important is that they know and they have the choice.
That's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. I am just here to help Akadito. He is the one who was chosen by our god.
Chosen by a god.
Mm-hmm. He is very special. I love him.
She like smiles really big.
Uh-huh.
She's like, what makes him so special?
Well, he is the only one with this power to find people like us.
Oh, well, welcome
He,
to the team, I guess.
thank you. Did you know he is named after the Queen of Air?
He should meet Taratha. She's the queen of goblins.
he is already meeting her because she is her. And you can give me an insight check.
Probably not great. Well, that's still a 13.
That's enough. Like you can tell, like he almost said something he shouldn't, and he just very quickly, didn't say the thing and changed what he said.
All right, so she kind of gives him a little bit of a sarcastic side eye and is like, "Well, that is one of the truest things I've heard today."
That's me. Always truthful. Truthful clique.
Uh,
Are you friends with Taratha?
I suppose, as much as anyone can be friends with Taratha.
Is she mean?
She's reclusive.
Ah, so she and Akadito will be best friends, because they both don't like people.
Well, it's possible. People have bonded over less.
That is true. We bonded over words.
Well, I will. She will like. There is likely something that she should actually be doing, but I don't actually have the words to like be like, I'm gonna go tie this thing to do the camp stuff. Like I don't I don't like Leia has a little words. So she says something that is actually legitimate, not like
Yeah.
she's trying to get out of the conversation, just like she actually does have other things to do but wanted to introduce herself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I'll say tending to the horses, because I think animal handling's kind of your shtick now.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're the
I'm totally
one.
down with that.
Yeah, so cleaning out their hoofs, making sure that they have water and food. So that's
Yeah.
what she's doing.
For sure, for sure.
And he'll go, bye bye. I love you.
She kind of like it seems a little startled by that. Because she doesn't so she kind of like she like turns around and head tilts a little bit, but is like like kind of shakes her shoulders. Love you too. And she'll just turn around and keep going.
Yo. All right, who's taking watch at some point during the night?
I will for sure.
I will.
Okay. Just let me know whether you want to do kind of like the late night or the early morning watch.
Early morning would be great.
I'll do late night.
Okay. And you're going to be assisted by other people, so like just assume that there's other people kind of scattered in the area as well, and you're not the only one handling it. Eric, can I get a perception check out of you?
Well, I'm looking around my room, and there's like there's stuff. My computer's here. There's a window. But
Okay,
Willow
Willow.
rolled a 21.
Nice. All right. So you are doing patrols, you're keeping a close eye out, you're checking, making sure nothing's amiss. And towards the end of your watch, like it passed by without any issue. But towards the end of the watch, you kind of get like you see something and you get a little bit of a sinking feeling, because you see footsteps, or you see movement, and then you'll kind of follow that movement at some point, just enough, without getting yourself into danger, but enough to take a closer look. And you see footprints that go towards the camp, and then footprints that go away from the camp. And you see a set of 5 or 6 of them, and you get the sense that people had come over, must have watched the camp or scouted it to some ability. You don't know whether or not, what they were carrying or their purpose. You just see 5 or 6 humanoid footprints approach and then leave at some point during your watch.
I want to track them,
All right, so
but I might grab Tolly and Taratha because they can see better at night than I can.
For sure.
All right, so what do you? Let's say that you're all gathered in the hut. Oh, actually, Taratha, I never got back to you. With
Yeah, I was about to say.
yeah, sorry. So sorry.
You find
reeling
Teretha
back-
dead.
reeling back just a little bit. So an hour passes, and Akadito gives a little, well, how familiar are you with hell?
Literal or figurative? Because people are hell.
Literal.
My mother spoke of it.
Well, maybe your mother knew of this as well, but did not have the chance to tell you, or chose to keep it from you. But your blood is from one of the 9 circles of hell.
Let me guess. The cold one.
How did you know?
Call it intuition.
And he'll go, well, it seems like you are vaguely familiar. I will say, while it usually is my mission to let people or help people go back to their original planes if they so wish, I would strongly advise against you doing that.
But if I wanted to pursue this,
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
But if I wanted to pursue this,
I would
how might you
advise,
help me?
well, I would help by advising that you study texts about hell, and I will, in a fair amount of time, quiz you to make sure that you fully understand what you are getting into if you choose to go there.
Where can I find these texts?
Well, from my understanding, these tomes lay deep under the city of Vara. You need special access to get there.
And once I get those texts, you'll be able to show me the way.
Well, I can show you to someone who would be able to get you there, but that would be another layer of convincing someone. We would have to go to my plane, which I can freely move between, and then we would have to go from my plane to another. And the person who is in control of that, well, it would be your job to convince him.
Take me.
What'd you say?
Take me.
To my plane.
To whoever this gatekeeper is.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to do that bit until I'm able to quiz you about hell and understand that you understand everything you need to know. And in order to do that, you must study it deeply.
So be it.
If I come across texts outside of your library, I would be willing to share with you, but it is also not my prerogative to make that my main goal because I am sent on a holy mission for my people primarily. But if access is a worry for you to your city's library, you might want to consider the Colosseum.
Colosseum?
Yes, it is quite the talk of the town from what I have heard. I know very little about your lives here, although I am trying very hard to learn and understand and appreciate. But there is what can be achieved through the hero's wish, and you can gain a hero's wish by winning the tournament at the Colosseum.
That does sound mighty enticing.
Ooh, you're super duper quiet.
That sounds mighty enticing.
Of course. And you can enter in teams of 2 to 5. So, I would advise that you use the help of your friends, and maybe they can get the hero's wish as well.
Each contestant gets a hero's wish.
Correct. That is why it is such a large and arduous tournament.
What does the tournament entail?
It entails fighting other adventurers and entrance to the tournament, but not killing them, because that would be murder.
So all I have to do is not murder people.
And also subdue them.
That's not hard.
Well, if it is so easy, then I wish you the best of luck in the library. I have spoken a lot more than I wish to for today. I am quite tired. If you would not mind, I would like to get some rest.
Good.
Ooh, one more time, I'm sorry.
Good night.
Yep, cool.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah?
I just realized I didn't take disadvantage. Well, I probably would have been using a torch. Never mind.
Yeah, you're fine. So yeah. Now we're back. The gang's all here. Sorry. Now you could go back to what you were gonna say, Willow.
We're being followed.
Okay.
Found some group of humanoids. Came near us. Watched us for a while, and then the tracks lead away. Could be going to get more people.
Well, you want to follow him? And,
I think we
See
could
what they're up
track
to?
them.
yeah.
All right. Can I get a survival check from the party? Disadvantage if you want to move at normal speed, regular if you want to half speed it. So that, and half speeding is so that you're also like stealthing. So I'm doing the half speed for stealth as well.
Half speed, okay with you guys?
I think
wanna
as
go
long
up
as
to
we
the-
feel like we catch up.
I want to go up to the area where they allegedly were spying on us.
Sure.
Is there anything up there? Anything that might have been left behind? Anything at all?
It's just footprints that have been slightly sifted over by sand at this point, but not so much that you can't tell. Like even if you go half speed, you can still trace the footprints well enough, but a bad survival check will make you take too much time to be able to continue following the footprints. Does that make sense?
22 on that survival check.
Cool.
And can I aid on that because I have proficiency?
Yep.
Go ahead and just see if you get higher.
Yeah, that's a nat 20, y'all.
Nice. All right, that
So
changes
for the
things.
record, that is then 30.
Yeah, no, that definitely changes things. Corey, was there something you were going to do to the area? Like magic?
Oh, I just wanted to see if I could scry.
Oh yeah, they didn't leave behind anything, unfortunately. But that was a good idea. Tali, you just haul ass. Like you can see the wind is blowing. You know that these footprints aren't going to last forever, and in order to be able to follow them, you just have to dead ass, not even pussyfoot around it. You are just following those footsteps real quick. And eventually, I'm just going to use the same map. Eventually, you find yourselves at actually, no, this is a different one. Here we go. I'm going to say you're over here kind of hiding behind the brush. I'll give you what you can get from what you see, and you could choose whether or not you want to stealth, perception, other stuff over here. But there's a small oasis, which is what the water's doing over here. And you see, one second, need to get another layer. A camp.
I assume the you here is one of those nice dark vision people, and not me.
Well, no, there's like a campfire, and even though you can't see that great,
Oh, got it. I didn't realize there was a campfire. My bad.
yeah. So this area, one second, is just kind of covered with campgrounds. It's a smaller caravan than what you left behind in terms of like stuff that's being carried, but there's more people. And you count easily around like 50 to 60 people moving about in these caravans, or in this caravan space. They are surprisingly active for this time of night. Um, and that's what you get from your spot back over here. So just, sorry, 50 to 60 people. There's not a lot of cargo, but there's more people. And there are like places to put cargo, but it doesn't seem like they are transporting a huge thing from one city to the other to sell, which is what you're doing.
Huh. What do you think?
Sorry. We could just sneak up and see what's going on. Does that make
Doretha,
sense?
you have anything that helps with sneaking?
Oh,
I was thinking maybe we could
yes.
send one invisible person in rather than like a whole squad where one of us could fail a stealth check and blow the whole cover.
Or I could just send my arcane eye in.
Cool.
I'm
You can
okay
also
with
use
that.
Bliss.
Now, just out of curiosity, I would like to know where the eye goes, and if any sort of like detect magic thing if it would kind of trigger any of that, or like not detect magic, but like if its physical presence would trip any sort of trap.
I don't believe it
Well-
would. It's invisible.
Okay.
And it can shrink down to an inch in diameter.
Okay, then you're good. I just wanted to make sure that that wasn't a factor.
Yeah, it's an invisible magical eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty.
Pretty what?
It's pretty dope.
Cool. And so where do you cast it?
In front of me.
Okay.
It only has a range of 30, but then you can move it as much as you want.
Okay. So you cast
Yeah,
it in front of you and you're able to move it like all the way over here?
Yeah, I'm basically gonna move it all around.
Okay. Give me 3 perception checks with advantage. Because I assume you're taking time to do this.
Yeah, let me look up my modifier real quick. Okay, the first one's 25.
Mhm.
Second one's a crit.
Nice.
Third one's a crit.
Oh my god. And then does the arcane eye allow you to hear or only see?
I think just the visual information. It doesn't say anything
visual
about.
information.
Okay. Yep, I just wanted to make sure. That's totally fine. So, you pop it around. Sometimes it's around, one second, I'm on the wrong screen. Sometimes it's just like kind of doing the perimeter. Sometimes you're following, people here and there. You see, give me a history check, Corey.
Yeah. That will be a 19.
Okay. You've never seen any of these necessarily like in person, but you've heard story of elves with dark skin, and this is a camp full of elven people with either like gray, blue, or black skin. Like and just like pure black, because like like there's like what's essentially African American people like in the world, but this is like pure straight color as black can be. They're walking around the camp. They seem to be kind of debating one thing or another, but because you can't see or hear rather what's being said, you don't really know what exactly they are saying or debating about. But you could tell that some of the people who are dressed a little bit more like higher up um, are having a very intense conversation. You can tell that there are like there seems to be three main ringleaders. One of them is in like kind of wizard's robes sort of thing, so you can tell that they're a mage. Two of them are fighters. What do you do?
Can I read their lips?
I'm going to say no because I don't think that your character would have necessarily practiced that a lot.
I would disagree, but
How so?
she would be using Arcane Eye frequently.
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Will do. Okay, 21.
Christ. I mean, they're talking very quick and in a language. Actually, do you know Undercommon?
No.
All right, so
Oh
you're
man, I do. Damn it.
yeah. So you can tell that they are speaking in a language that you do not know, but you can tell the sound. You can understand the sounds that they are making quite well. What do you do?
I relay this information.
Okay.
They seem like fighters.
Two of them.
They look like they're preparing for anything or just bed.
Oh, whoops. I have not been looking at chat all day, but it's only you all, so.
I figured I would just put
Yeah.
kind of like semi-side conversations there so that like I don't know, people on Twitch can see them. But then I started out because I was still logged into Serious Play
Gotcha.
and didn't realize it until a little bit
Yeah.
later.
It's hard to say. They're clearly talking quite fast.
Well, I could
You could what?
I could try to sneak up and listen in.
True.
I'm sorry, Corey,
Yep,
did you
sounds
respond to
good.
that? Okay. Yeah, Tolly will do that. Yeah.
One more time. I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of cut off stuff, so.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just go up and do that.
Okay.
Sneak up and try and listen into what they're saying.
Okay. Are you using anything, or are you just gonna give me a straight stealth check?
Just a straight stealth check, yeah.
All right. Tell me how far you're moving up. Like, because you're going to have to get pretty close to here, if you want to be able to do anything or hear anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just sneak up to where I can hear they're saying.
And how are you sneaking?
Well, it's dark out, right?
Yes.
But probably most things have dark vision anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's one.
What?
I'm thinking, sorry. I mean, there's nothing between me and the caravan, right? To like hide behind or do any of that.
No.
Then never mind. Because there's no way to sneak up there, then I'm not going to.
Like, you can try, here's the thing, you could try and like stay low to the ground, and like you could like belly crawl and see if you could like get in and out without necessarily being seen by a guard. But the issue is, if you fail a stealth check, you're going to be out in the open.
Okay. It's gonna take me a while, isn't it, to belly crawl through the desert like 60 feet?
Yeah.
Um.
I'm gonna look it up quick.
What?
Movement while prone. I'm just curious now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you just move at half speed, unless it's difficult terrain. Then 1 foot costs 3 feet, which means that you can crawl the 60 feet in like pretty fast. Like,
But if I'm
like,
also stealthing, then is that gonna have the half speed and actually be?
but it'll still be
Right.
like a minute, I think, about to get there. But it's up to you. You could just walk there. It's dark, I guess.
Well, Kelly asked how I'm sneaking, and just walking is not sneaking. So that's.
I mean, you could hide in plain sight. Like, I've definitely missed things that are right in front of my goddamn nose. So like, I don't want to say that it's impossible to sneak while not prone or anything like that, but just if you
You could try to keep like the tents in between you and like the fire, so that you're always like in like a shadow, and then you get up to like the tent, and you're hiding behind something.
Yeah, okay, sure. Talia'll try it. This is not really her way she usually does stuff, but we'll try. Yeah, that's a 10. Rolled
you
a
get
3 on the die. Right.
you get up to here. And here's a fun thing. You were probably actually stealthing pretty decently, but you feel your foot trip a wire. And you know, like, you don't hear anything, but the way that, like, all of the dark elves turn their head and kind of start looking around, that, like, they're able to hear some sort of alarm. And I just did a collective roll for them, and they rolled a 3 on the die. So you can tell they're looking around and starting to head out, but they do not notice you. What do you do?
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna stealth and retreat.
All right, give me a stealth check because they didn't notice you there. So let's see if you could beat their roll.
That's a 4 on the die. What's an
All right.
11? I got
All
11.
right. The good news is they rolled again just to see if they could see like where you ended up in a way, like if they could see like the like sand getting kicked up or like the grass moving or crunches of something. But they rolled an 8, so you
Awesome.
you are safe. You are hidden. All of you are. But the issue is they're starting to move out and scout. So, although right now they do not see you, you're going to have to make the decision to head back or prepare for something if they find you.
I think
I'm gonna
we should prepare.
message Tali.
Okay.
Isn't Tali with us now?
Tali's, I thought, up there still trying to get back.
No, I think I got back, right, Kelly?
Yeah, you're back. You're good.
I think we need to get ready for a potential fight. I think if we try to run, they're just going to catch up to us.
Well, let's just go make
But
ourselves known.
maybe we could make some friends instead of making some enemies.
Sure, we can pretend that's the way of the
Okay.
desert if you'd like.
I know it's not the way of the desert, but you know.
Who knows? Maybe they share your inclination.
I sure hope so.
So
Me
should we
too.
get their attention?
Can you? I'm gonna pull out my blade like an inch. Can you cast light on this, and specifically the blade, so that way I can pull it out to reveal us, or so that I can see if the fight goes down.
Yeah, sure, she can do that.
Okay. I'm just
Thank
gonna
you.
say
I'm gonna
that
cast Firebolt.
are you?
Yeah.
So you're not even going to attempt talking.
No,
No.
she's
I'm gonna
flaring,
cast
right?
it.
Oh, I thought you were casting firebolt like at them. My mistake.
No.
Okay, so you send out a flare. Willow has a lit up sword, and immediately you grab their attention. And the main bulk, not
Oh,
the.
I'm not putting the sword out. I'm keeping it stashed away until I just
Oh,
wanted it
okay.
lit and then in its not holster. Well, she's a
Okay.
cowboy holster.
Yeah, no, I get it now. Sorry. So yeah, the three of you make yourselves known. You come out of the brush a little. The mage and two fighters are not the ones that get to you. They seem to be staying back, way in the middle of the camp. So you are approached by what seems like a bunch of scouts, and they circle you. And they have like their weapons out, but they're not like actively attacking you right now. And they're chattering to one another as they circle to you in Undercommon, Tali. You hear them kind of arguing about like what they're going to do. Do we tie them up? What are they doing? Why are they just standing there? Who are these fools? That one's kind of cute. Just kind of like thinking that just kind of saying this sort of like side chatter that they think that you won't understand.
Can
Yeah.
I cast tongues? I don't know how visible that is. I kind of want to just kind of quickly so I can understand them.
How long does it last?
Tongues last for a while.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that you did that before this because you would have known that they were speaking in a different language.
You're right.
So,
Willow would have known that, and Eric knew that and just was being dumb.
yep. Can I get a D12 roll from all three of you?
7.
I think this is the first time rolling this D12. 2.
Also, too.
All right. It seems like Taratha is the most attractive to some of them, and they're essentially like arguing with one another on like who gets to guard her and keep an eye on her. But you can tell like there's a definitely like kind of rapey suggestive thing about what they're saying as they're talking to one another. And finally,
So,
Calm down,
with
boys.
that,
Calm
like,
down,
if that's the.
boys.
ooh, what?
Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, calm down, boys. Calm down.
All right.
Are
So
you
can
able
you
to
Yeah.
it's
Can you
Everyone's in
undercommon.
control
understand?
here. We are.
It's under. They're
They
talking in
can't
undercommon.
I have my comprehend languages up.
Okay. How does that? Can you just remind me how that works?
I can understand
Like you
any language.
casted it, or is it like a different? Like, is it a sort of racial feat or whatever thing, or is it just you cast it and now you have it?
Divination wizard thing.
Okay. So then all three of you can now understand. And one of them like starts to walk forward to like start talking about something, but when you say "calm down, boys," which you can't speak those languages, you could just speak in common. So
Yep.
he would respond also in common. What is your purpose here?
To talk to whoever your leader is.
And what purpose do you have for that?
You've been scouting on us, and I assume we're going to get nowhere talking to their underlings. So just take us to your leader. We'll talk about our two groups, and then we'll move on.
An underling talking to a leader? I think not. And you can tell that he thinks that you're an underling because you're the ones that are scouting, not the ones that are at the camp.
I will obliterate you into smithereens if you keep talking to me.
He lets out a laugh and he goes, well, even if you do, it's not going to end well for you.
Really? You really want to play that game right now?
I think you're the one playing that game because at least we kept our distance. And it seems like one of your team got a little too close for comfort.
What the hell are you talking about?
You tripped our wire. We did not trip yours.
We don't have wires.
Are you deceiving? Because like they definitely would. The caravan.
Taratha would not know that, so she would not be deceiving. She's just saying that.
Okay. And then he'll laugh and go, "Wow, an underling and stupid. Incredible. They did not send their best out here, did they?"
I do not like how this guy is talking to me, so I'm gonna cast polymorph on him.
Pause. You don't just cast polymorph. We're gonna roll for initiative.
Don't even get a surprise round out of that.
No.
You're talking to him within. It's like casting a spell takes 6 seconds if it takes an action. So imagine if you're talking to somebody and then they go to pull out their gun. You know what that's
Yeah.
what casting a spell is like in this instance.
Then I should have cast Gaius.
Should I also be in the initiative roll?
I mean, everyone's going to roll for initiative.
Okay.
Okay. Taratha, what'd you get?
7.
Okay. Tali?
14.
Okay. And Eric?
16.
Okay. So just to kind of explain the mechanics of this, their stats / movement are essentially a mob. Like, yes, you're casting it on one specific person, but that will affect the mob in general, even though it's like one person. So I just wanted to, kind of make that clear because I know that you're trying to polymorph one thing, but anything you do to one specific person will affect the mob as a whole that they're a part of. But first
How
up,
many are there?
essentially 3, like 3 groups of people who are surrounded you. Like they are all like it is a circle. They're not grouped up. They are all in a circle around you all, and each group within that circle are going to move on their turn. So the first group of the mob is going to attempt to subdue you. So I need you to roll a strength contest. Oh my god.
What?
Sorry.
They rolled an 8?
No.
What?
Double nat 20s because they have advantage on this roll.
That's fine.
What'd you roll?
What are they doing?
They are grappling you, or not grappling, but they are collectively restraining you between all of them.
I knew I should have cast freedom of movement. God damn it.
Cast what? Sorry, are you cut out?
Sorry, freedom of movement.
So are they attacking me?
No, mechanically, yes. But what they're doing is they are grappling you and just attempting to tie your hands. But they can't do that. They're using their action first to subdue you. So right now, the rest of the party is watching Taratha just get swarmed with these people who are just pulling her hands back and, getting rope out. So you can tell that they're not looking to harm her as of this point. You could tell that they are looking to stop her from doing whatever she was about to do.
So mechanically, they are not attacking me.
Sometimes, for purposes of invisibility, where any sort of aggressive movement, it would, but they are not harming you. So I'm curious, what's the thing that is affected, may or may not be affected by this, because they're not harming you, they are subduing you.
My cloak.
What is the remind me what the cloak does?
When an attacker that you see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to expend a charge.
They're not attacking you. Uses their action to attack. They're not using the attack action.
That's why I was.
Cool. Thank you. No, but it makes sense, because sometimes something like that would be break invisibility. So, Willow, it is your turn.
So they have some sort of tool for grappling, or for handcuffing Taratha.
They don't have a tool. They are using rope, which I guess is a tool, but it's not like manacles.
Are they trying to do that to all of us, or is
just Taratha?
Don't worry, I'll be fine. Just let me get to my turn.
What does it look like Tally's about to do?
You could delay your turn because Tally's next.
I mean, I assume, I didn't want to necessarily delay my turn, because, per the rules as written, delaying your turn is awful. But because you have to prep your action, and then you only get to do whatever you prepped, and then you have to use your reaction for it. I just want to know what it looks like Tally's about to do, because we all go at about the same time. So I'm trying to base what I'm going to do off of what Tally's maybe going to do. So what does it look like Tally might be about to do?
She definitely looks like she is about to cast a spell of kind.
All right. Would it be a spell that I have seen her cast where I might know the material component that you're grabbing or anything like that?
I mean, this would be up to Kelly, but my plan is to cast freedom of movement on myself, because it lasts for an hour and allows me
to... If there are verbal or material components, which I'm pretty sure it
uses all of them.
Yeah. So yeah, you would recognize the spell.
Yeah, she actually has a leather strap on her specifically for this spell.
All right. So
I will.
What do you do?
I'm going to. All right. So this is up to DM interpretation, but I have the class that we did. I have that disarm thing, right, where I can disarm somebody. I'm just pulling it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to disarm them of the rope? So if I hit a creature as part of the attack action, I can spend 1 key point to remove a weapon from the creature. The creature makes a strength saving throw against my monk ability DC. So I'm gonna. Can I make an attack roll but not intend to do damage? Can I do 0 damage with the attack if it hits and just disarm it?
Yes.
All right,
and that would not be a key point if you're purposely not trying to do damage.
All right, so I'm gonna try to wrap the whip around the rope and pull the rope away.
All right, make an attack roll.
That'll be a 20.
Yep. You yank it right out of their hands, and they look over to you and, hey,
and I'll whip it into my hand, and I'll just do like the kind of like thing, and then that'll I don't want to do anything else. Like I could do more attacks or other things, but I specifically don't want to. That was an attack roll to hit Taratha, you were saying before.
They only did a strength contest to subdue Taratha, and they won with, I'm still proud, double nat 20s.
I'll go ahead and I'll just, for the heck of it, do the bonus action dodge. Just see if that helps at all.
Okay. Tali.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cast freedom of movement.
Taratha?
I'm also gonna pull my weapon out.
Nice.
But not like, it's more of like a threatening thing than like a I'm about to attack you. It's like keeps going down this road, and I guess we're all gonna have to fight. Like that's the mood.
Yeah, that's fine. So just so you know, like Taratha is essentially swarmed. You are able to kind of like reach your hand in real quick and like tap her. But like right now, just so to help visualize this, she is completely surrounded by these people. Next up is Mob 1, who sees
What happened to my roll?
You're last. You got like a 7.
Oh damn.
Yeah, both mobs go before you. Mob 1 is going to attempt to subdue Tali, who just cast a spell. And that would be a 17. So what is your, then we're just doing a strength contest.
I also got a 17.
Eric, does Ty go, who does the Ty go to in this case?
I think the only thing that's weird to me is that usually when a creature gets grappled, the grapplee creature can choose to use their dexterity or their strength for the check. But other than that, a tie should go to the person that is being grappled, like, right? Because they're so it should go to Tali.
Out of curiosity, because like it's like I know that Ty goes to
Tie goes normally to the person who is rolling, but in this case, both are rolling.
Okay. I want to look that up, but if like I wasn't sure, like your answers like didn't like quote like something specifically, so I want to know in the future. But for today, it'll go to Tali.
I'll look it up quick, but.
And then Mob 2, yeah, because like when there's a contest, I don't know if it, because usually it goes to the person who's trying to do something. These ones are trying to do something to her.
So it's a contest, and it's a contest between okay. So if it's a contest, the attacker makes a strength athletics check, and the defender can choose between strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics to resist.
Okay.
And I'm looking to see about ties now, but I'll get there in just a sec.
And then out of curiosity, like, are any of those things higher where you would have gotten higher anyway?
No, I've got 3 for all of it. Yeah, because I'm not proficient in acrobatics or athletics, so they're both 3.
Nice. What's it called? How about this? While Eric looks it up, the second mob is going to attempt to grapple you.
Got it.
Okay.
If the contest results in a tie, this is page 174 of the player's handbook. The situation remains the same as it was before the contest. So if you're trying to get out of a grapple, and it's a tie, you remain grappled. But if you're trying to get grappled and it's a tie, it's whatever happened before. So
nice. Sounds good. So then the second mob is going to attempt to get Tali. That is another 17.
Hilariously, that is another 17.
Holy shit! I love it. the funny, like, I love it. And what's also incredible, like just the odds of what happened so far with these rolls. So mechanically, the way I'm having this work is so long as the mob has not taken any damage, they have advantage on grapple checks to like swarm people. So like the first one was like double nat 20s, which is hysterical, and my second 2 rolls were both a 3 and a 12 on the die. Like so, just like the statistical like improbability of this was incredible to me.
I also think it's fun because, like, even if I do get grappled, it means nothing. So,
yeah.
because freedom of movement is delicious.
You're free.
Well, I thought that it only had one target, but if it has multiple, then I just wanted to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding.
Okay, so the target can also spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape from non-magical restraints, such as manacles or a creature that is that has it grappled. I mean,
Right,
you can
I thought you
decide
ca-
whether or not that because it says a creature that means one creature, but it's kind of like the point of it is to be able to get out of that shit pretty easy.
No, I know. I wanted to know whether it was you or Taratha that you cast that on.
Oh God, me. Taratha
Oh,
is
I
out for
thought you.
herself.
Okay, I thought
No,
you cast it on Taratha.
Taratha
Okay.
is out for herself all the time. Tali knows this, so doesn't do that shit to her.
And that was my misunderstanding.
No, yeah, it's fine. No, yeah, I definitely cast that on myself.
Taratha, what do you do?
First, point of order. How many mobs are there? I'm very confused.
There are 3 mobs, but they originally were just the people that were circled around you. Because, like I said, there were 50 to 60 people in the camp, so they're chunked up into 3 different groups between the, say, like 20 that had surrounded you.
Gotcha. Okay, and so
I
I'm
just thought it
restrained.
would be, yeah, I just
right
thought it would be
now,
2.
Or grappled, right?
I'm going with restrained because there's literally like 5 or 6 people. If it was 1, then yes, you would be grappled. But the issue is there's so many people.
Well, it changes whether or not I can cast Firebolt. I'm not Firebolt up, but Fireball. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna cast Dimension Door.
Cool. Those just are verbal.
Verbal.
Nice. Tell me where you pop up.
500 feet away.
In which, like, away from the fight or towards the camp?
500.
Yeah, I can go up to 500.
Okay.
I'm gonna teleport back to our camp.
Okay.
I really like being in a party with Taratha today.
Holy shit. Okay.
You going by yourself, Taratha?
We can't talk.
Yeah.
I know that was me, Leia, talking to
Oh.
just like that was like
Yeah,
a comment
there's
of like
like
you're not trying to drag anyone.
There's 60 people. I gotta get reinforcements.
No, I know
Yeah,
that. I
but
just
you-
wanted to make
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that you like because you can like drag someone with you, and I just wanted to make sure that you weren't doing that, or if you were, that was like the person that was being taken with you knew. That's all. I don't care what you do.
Oh, I can't.
I just wanted to make
one,
sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's no one close to me that I even could do that with. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's totally fine. I just
And just so you know, it was like an hour of travel to get here. So yes, you could teleport real quick, but getting back is another story. But if you have
It
an
was
answer
an
for that,
hour of sneaky sneak versus an hour of sprinty sprint, but that's all.
yeah, no,
Alright.
that's fine. And we could resolve that later. Like above table, like even if you do get captured, that doesn't mean that they're going to murder you on the spot. You know.
Oh, of course, and we're
So-
not going to get captured because me and Tali could just slaughter them all.
yeah, that's not an option. We're not getting fucking captured.
I'm just saying, like, if that does happen, you know, and actually, I'm just gonna.
Sure.
I just wanted to like just above table, like there's more than one option here. So first up is Mob 3, who is I'm just gonna do an intelligence check with disadvantage. No, they can't tell that Tali did something, so they're going to attempt to grapple you. That is a 24, or restrain / subdue.
And I know I don't know if you're proficient in athletics, Tali. You can also add that proficiency.
Yeah, I'm not. So I will let you decide how this goes, Kelly, because I got a nat 20, but that still only gives me a 23, so it's up to you.
Isn't that an auto?
With skill checks, it's up to the DM.
Yeah, with skill checks, it's up to the DM. It's only an auto success on attack rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, then no. And I'm not saying that just like to be like a dick.
No,
and, like,
you have
oh, this...
no. I know you alternately make nat 20s for skill checks better than they would be, and sometimes you don't. So I just was throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think
And
for
it's
skill
5
checks.
feet of movement to get out, so no big deal.
Yeah. So they swarm you. They start grappling you, restraining you. There's the rope coming out, but they can't do anything, necessarily yet. It is Willow's turn.
Do the other mobs look like they're closing in to go after me?
Yep.
Wait, have the mobs gone twice now?
There's
There's
3 mobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
but they
three
all
So-
move on the same.
They move
Well,
on different. I had them move
yeah.
in different orders because I thought it would be OP for them to get like essentially 3 sets of everything. Because right now they have not been attacking you all, and they have multiple attacks per one. So I thought that it would be better initiative economy to split it up.
I will spend my first attack action to put my pistol in the air and take a shot and say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, calm down."
And with your I'm just gonna give this to you. They're startled at first, but they seem very, very intent on tying you up. And
Then it's
Talia.
time to fuck them up. All right, I'll attack the ones that are grappling Tolly.
All right, that's mob 3.
So I pull up my sword. I can see just fine,
Yep.
and that's a 24 to hit.
That'll hit him.
That'll be 10 damage.
All right.
And then,
Do you take out some of them, or not all?
And then it's would Stunning Strike do anything here?
Stunning Strike is going to lower a lot of their stats, and it will. I'm gonna say, it's going to take away, depending on how many Stunning Strike, take away how many attacks they get to make and kind of like how many dice they get to roll. So there is going to be a change, but until you've cut down more of their numbers, it's not going to.
I'm gonna just keep punching them. Flurry of blows. I'm gonna do 2 more punches.
Okay.
That's a 20 and then a 13, and a 9. 11.
All of those hit.
Oh, okay. So that will be first. Would be 7. Second will be 6. So 13 damage on that, and so 23 total damage.
All right. You do that to them. I just want to roll initiative for the other ones now, like the big fighters. Before anything else goes, Tali, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna attack and use one of these to add a special shield.
Before you attack, use the 5 feet of movement to get on the grapple. Never mind. Grapple
Yeah.
is not the same as the other as restrained, right? So never mind. I guess it doesn't matter. But
Still, just so they have to like try and grapple me before they can put shit on my hands again. I will take 5 feet of movement to get out,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will attack with Saturn's Scythe.
Nice.
And cast Shield of Faith.
Nice.
Yeah.
I dig it.
All right, that's gonna be a 22
Damage or to hit?
to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
1,000 damage.
1,000 damage. Ooh, an 8 and 7 off die. Love it. It's gonna be 20 damage, my friends.
Nice. You
Nice.
Oh no, you don't single-handedly do it because you got some things from Willow. You start slaughtering. You start slaughtering the ones that are all around you.
I just love the idea of a scythe. Just like she just kind of steps out of this, like all these people grappling her, and just takes the scythe and just like slits throats. Like,
Ooh, that's nasty.
that's
I know.
fucking. That's just such a beautiful. It's just
Like,
such a.
you missed the face that I made. All right. Next up is Fighter 1, who is way down here. 1 second. Where are they? They're not that far up. So I'm gonna say
almost
5,
like
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 50. Okay, so they make it there in that round. So they use the dash action to get from here to here. And I'm going to say the other one also use their dash action. The mobs have now seen that Tali is like unable to be, grappled. So the two mobs are going to attempt to.
Do they have dark vision? I'm just
Yes,
curious.
they all do.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking that like Tali did just wipe them out, so it's almost like she didn't need to escape the grapple to kill them. But anyways, go ahead. Just
Well,
try
she
to
did
grapple
because
me.
she was restrained.
I got +9. I'm not scared, and Tali can cast freedom of movement on me.
Okay. 18 for the first one. Are you?
Oh yeah. Well, I can do an acrobatics check to.
Yep.
To. Fuck, 14. All right.
Okay. So yeah, you are grappled, or not grappled, but like restrained by them, and then the second mob is going to tie your hands, and that is their actions.
Wait? Do I get a check or anything?
I mean, you're restrained by them.
I'm not restrained. I'm grappled.
I say grapple, but I've been saying mechanically restrained this whole time. Like I'm not saying they restrain you like grappled because like they're literally
All right, it's
grappling
fine. I can
at
still
you.
kick them.
Yeah.
You can tie my hands up, but I'm just gonna fucking kick you to death.
Okay. So they your hands are now bound. Fighter 2 is going to dash and get to where he is right now. Taratha, this is your teleport action, right? Yeah.
I already teleported.
No, you dimension doored last turn, so now you are 500 feet away, and this is a turn that you said you were going to teleport. I just wanted to make sure that you were still teleporting.
I mean, it takes an action to teleport.
Yep. So you are now teleported back to the what's it called? The camp, and now it is the mage's turn. And the mage is.
I don't get to say anything.
I mean, we'll get there, because I figured we'll end it at this turn, and see how it goes. Give me 1 second. Okay, this one's wrong thing. Mage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And they're going to cast a spell on Tali. Tali, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. You are probably on mute. Tali!
I can't hear any.
Hi, Leia. How are
Hopefully,
you?
I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay, I figured it out. Cool. Sorry.
Okay. The mage tries to grip you and take control over your mind, but you very quickly push them out. Taratha, what do you say? This is in your turn, but you can't take any actions.
Yeah. So we have a bit. Yes, we have a bit of a problem. A bit up north. Y'all want to come help us with that?
All right, and I think that's where we'll leave it for today.
Oh shit! It is 4:42.
It is.
Wow.
And we could finish this because, like, really, every I just thought it'd be a good way to end it because we have initiative. No one remaining has taken any damage, so it'll just be like a nice way to kind of leave it. But cool. Thoughts? Comments? It's a rough day today.
D&D.
Yeah. I feel like it was like a little bit of a slow start today, like because I also kind of felt like tired and kind of worn of the whole I'm at this computer so much more. Not sure how I feel about that, but
Yeah, we're kind of bound to this device more so than usual.
Yeah, it's fascinating because Crystal and I use our living room less than we ever have before. Like we spend almost no time there because all of our like social time and work time is on the computer. So like where we used to spend like time watching TV and stuff, like by the time we get done down here, we're like, we don't want to fucking look at a screen again. Like,
yeah.
we're gonna play like card games. We're gonna like chat or like like we just don't do that as much anymore.
Mhm.
And also gaming is cool thing.
Yeah. Splitting the party. Y'all do that a lot.
No, I don't know if y'all do that a lot is the
Corey.
proper way to describe it.
Corey, you
Wait,
do
what?
that a lot.
I did. Okay, in fairness, I was getting gangbanged by Drow. Both as a character and a player, I did not want to be a part of that, so
Uh-huh.
I just removed myself from that situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like above table, like I would never like describe that. Like it even just felt like wrong, me like kind of alluding to the sort of nature of what they were talking about. But yeah, don't like I above table would like never put a character actually through that, unless there were like huge discussions about it beforehand. Um, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like in that vein, like what's the line and what do you feel like a DM can introduce without sort of having that consent of the players? Because like personally, I felt like it wasn't too bad to say like these are the sorts of things that they're saying about your character, and that can obviously make people feel uncomfortable. But like where is that line between asking first before introducing things or just doing them?
I mean, it's kind of tricky. I think it depends a little bit on the players that you have, like, and the amount of trust you have with them. Like, if I was with like a if I was DMing for like here's a good example. So like this is like less serious, I suppose, than like the height like than the most serious it could be. But like, character death, right? It's a
Yeah.
real bummer when characters die, and some players don't like to feel in like that stressful situation of like the actions that you take right now might determine whether someone else in the party lives or dies. In our current party, like that I DM for, I have no problem throwing a situation like that at the players where like your decisions as a player, Kelly, will impact somebody else's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm DMing for like a new group, right, and they don't know each other very well, I probably won't do that. You know what I mean? Because I don't want it to feel like anyone could blame another character for why their character died or something like that, right? And so like you have to, it's like I know that this isn't the exact same thing as like something that's more like a really tense social, not, I don't even call it social topic, but a really tense kind of real world violence, right? That like in the game, but it still is like got that same kind of vibe of like a thing where you need to know your players and what they trust you to do, right? And like to draw that, even if it's in you're drawing the line not like explicitly, but you've implicitly played enough together that you know where that line is.
Mm. Corey and Leia.
Uh, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I think that a lot of it is like I agree with Eric. I agree with everything Eric said. I also think that it's very contextual because I think that there are some groups that are okay with certain things in some circumstances and not okay with those same things in different circumstances, either depending on like player lives, like what's going on in players' lives, or like just literally context of where characters are in the game, and what has happened to them.
True.
So like for instance, right now, like one of the reasons why I stopped my Fate campaign was because it's really, really meta. Like one of the characters is playing the ghost of an actual ancestor of himself.
That's
Um
cool.
and uh and like they're playing in real time in Milwaukee as Milwaukee investigators investigating crime that is done humans to supernatural creatures. Because it's like a kind of gritty real world plus supernatural kind of thing. And I decided and I think the players agree with me on this, that we, you know, like I didn't really feel like I could run it on Discord, but like also none of us want to deal with COVID in
Mm.
game time. Like I feel like I could have put pandemics into my game like 6 weeks ago, and that is no longer okay, right? So I don't know. I I don't know. I mean, this is a thing that happened to, like, I feel like your character was most affected by this moment. Corey, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, take yourself out of situations you don't want to be a part of.
Yeah. The other thing is, like I know it might be an obvious answer, but like sort of how does the character's gender and also the player's gender fall into this? Because we have two people who are you know changing up the genders of their characters based on, actually no, Eric's always played a female character, but Corey, you were originally a male character, now a female character, and like Franz definitely had some like big sexual assault happen to him. I wouldn't say like as bad of a situation as what was today, but I mean, Elin or Aelin.
I mean, it's the difference in strictly quantity at this point.
Yeah, I actually didn't. I mean, to be fair, I didn't target yours specifically by choice both the times. That was just a roll on the die. It's just unfortunate that both of your characters are like the ones who have encountered this particular thing.
Yeah, I would say like I don't know. Maybe this will sound a bit strange, but the Awin
Mm-hmm.
thing definitely was a lot more triggering than I would say this is, because it's like a faceless mob, which for some people is obviously a big trigger. I don't want to downplay that, but it didn't feel as I didn't feel as personal.
Mm.
But at the same time, I then felt like less powerful. So it's just like, well, fuck,
Yeah,
dimension door.
yeah, absolutely. That bug out spell is definitely helpful
Well,
in
it was
situ.
either going to be, depending on whether or not my hand was free, it was going to be a fireball or a dimension door.
Mm. Other points of conversation. I have one, but I'm also open to others.
I mean, what's your one?
What's on your mind?
Sure. So Leia, you are more aware of this one, very aware of this one. You could tell me if you're too tired to talk about this. But currently in the Friday sessions, I love all the people dearly and their characters dearly. But right now, even though multiple, like they are acting like they are the heroes of the entire city, the city cat is completely helpless without them. Um, Even though I'm showing them that a lot of NPCs are working on revolution. This is in Taizhou, by the way, with the Inquisition. I'm showing that NPCs are working towards stopping the Inquisition, that they are making headway, but it was actually the party themselves, because of what they did, that set the NPCs' plans back. And this entire time they're like, no, like we are the saviors. You can't do anything without us. You have to join us if you want to be saved, not we have to join you. And this sort of like kind of like hyper savior sort of thing. And I'm not sure
No. White savior specifically.
Yeah, you are right.
I'm actually not going to talk about this because I haven't talked to. I don't want to say anything that I haven't like. I wouldn't want to talk about it without having talked to them first. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to answer this question.
Yeah. And like I'm not looking to speak about like their choices specifically. This was just kind of leading up to like this is a situation I find myself in and I'm curious what experiences other people had as DMs or players of this sort of white savior complex in D&D.
I don't mean to be dumb. Why are we racializing it as white? Like I mean, I'm asking that earnestly.
So that's okay. So anthropologically, okay. If you want to be okay, outside of kind of like current our placement, so it's more about our placement, in America with the players that we have with imperialism, which isn't only a white thing, right? Definitely not trying to say that. Like lots and lots of cultures have done that over time, but like so particularly in recent history, although it's not the whole world, it's a large swath of the world has definitely been kind of taken over by white people at one years, and the white savior complex is about particularly like white middle class people without doing any research, without, and this is not to say like all volunteers are bad, like do this badly, because they don't. Like there are actually good people doing really really amazing things in the world right now, but it's the idea that like I'm gonna go like create a water well in the middle of Africa without ever doing any actual research about what it would take, and like actually it's gonna break down in 6 months because they don't have any way to like fix it or whatever. Like that's the idea of white saviors, and the reason why I racialize it here is because of the particular makeup and thought process of the particular people in the context in which we are in right now. I'm trying to keep it vague and it's not really working, but anyway.
Yeah, I know what the white savior complex is. It's just like I don't understand why we're using that to describe players in D&D feeling like they're like the saviors of like the world or the realm or whatever that they're doing. That's where I'm like the disconnect is happening for me.
It's not so much like we're the saviors of the realm, because actually like a lot really are. Is when you walk into a space and think that your ideas are. I really don't want to talk about this. Actually, I really, really, really don't.
Sorry.
So I'm just not going to. I'm just not going to have this conversation.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Sorry if I was asking inappropriate questions.
No. You're totally fine. It's definitely not you.
Well,
but I can say I will just speak a little to this, just to humor you, Kelly.
Sorry, I'm just trying
I
to
think,
bring up stuff, but I've been hitting all the wrong buttons today apparently. So
it's okay. It's okay. I think that part of it can just be like when players play D&D, right? It is not unusual for them to kind of feel like they're living out the tropes or the ideas of like their favorite fantasies, right? And their favorite fantasies, right? If you read, I don't know, Aragon, right? Like, like something like that, right? Like, you imagine like, oh yeah, such and such character is, they're my favorite. They're the main character of the story, right? And you kind of view everything through their lens. And when D&D, you've got this wonderful thing, right? You don't have a book or a novel, right? That is like that it can only tell one story, right? That can only go in one direction, right? You've got a story that can go anywhere, and it has a lot that you can create these multifaceted characters. Not that there can't be multifaceted characters in other media, right? But those characters are stuck. They can't not do whatever wherever they go, right? Like Voldemort is always evil, right? And if you read the books, right? And I think that the players can kind of get in their mind a little bit like that kind of mentality that I am the main character in this story, right? And therefore, like Luke Skywalker or whatever, you know, you know, I get to, you know, it's my will and my heroism that saves the day. And I think that like that kind of attitude can sometimes lead to what you're describing, where like they can kind of step on the foot of like NPCs or of kind of allowing themselves to fully be realized in the world as characters, because they're kind of thinking too much in the terms of them being like a chosen one or something along those lines.
I actually purposely put in NPCs that are supposed to be like those sort of heroes of the realm sort, like not to like take away from player characters' heroism, but to sort of show that like they're not necessarily the only ones. So like they have a couple of NPCs that are with them or that they've interacted with who they know are meant to rule the city. Once the like they are chosen ones to rule the city and to bring peace to the country after everything settles. And you know, I just thought it'd be kind of like a fun thing to do to have NPCs that are important above and beyond them without necessarily taking away, you know, the importance of the things that they are doing.
Yeah, I really like the idea of like an NPC. Not even just an NPC who necessarily has to be a chosen one, but just like especially if you have a party of people who think that they're like the chosen or main characters, have like other NPCs who think that they are also the chosen one, even if they're not the chosen one. There is no chosen one, right? But just like imagining like just like kind of almost like a tongue-in-cheek kind of side jab at the party, like these people also think that they are the chosen ones to solve this conflict or something. That can be neat.
Yeah. Corey, any last thoughts before we go?
Sorry, I didn't hear most of that. My headset went wonky, so I heard like every third word.
That's fine. Give us something to finish on before we go. Doesn't have to be related.
Quarantine sucks.
That it does. And
Agreed.
yeah. And on that note, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.